Another note that we can really learn from his approach is as he's singing, he's allowing his jaw to really do a lot of movement. He's allowing it to open on those notes. He's not going, what, Delilah. He's going, why, really opening that jaw. We need to allow our mouth to open to sing. And I think a lot of people keep their jaw really tight as they sing. So watching him, how he's approaching it, can really help you.
Run, run, lost boy, they say to me.
So just before we start, I wanted to mention that this was one of the songs that I really wanted to be able to sing when I first started to sing. And it was kind of like, I don't know about you guys, but when I started to learn how to sing, I set myself certain goals that if I could sing that song, I would have made it. I would have arrived as a singer. This was one of those songs.
I saw the light on the night that I passed by her window.
I just love the rich, deep quality to his voice on this song. Even when he does it keyed up in the original key, he still has that really warm, nice, inviting tone to his voice. And even more so here, I think, where it's when it's dropped down a little bit. I don't know if this is a half step or a full step, but it's definitely dropped down from the original. I really love that quality of his voice.
If you want to see an uncut version of this video, check out the link in the description.
Also, his vibrato has always been one of the vibratos that I've really used as a template for me to be able to improve my vibrato and work on it. I just think he has a beautiful spinning vibrato, almost to a certain degree operatic. He has kind of a classical sound. And I like how he brought that classical sound into pop and really modernized it in the way that he did his music. Right, you can hear that sort of classical approach on the top notes of each one of these chorus parts. My. He kind of has that, very like lowered larynx, spinning vibrato as he's singing these parts. He's not thinking of it straight tone and neutral larynx, like right where I'm talking, my. So that would be kind of like more neutral larynx. And then straight tone, my Delilah. Right, so if you wanted to do that note totally straight tone, that's how you would approach it. But he's using it with a lot of vibrato.
If you're new to singing and would really like to learn more about the voice and how to use your voice properly, please check out the link down below. I've got a course called Transform Your Voice that is the beginner's guide to learning how to sing.
You really hear it there. Why, Delilah? He's got a lot of that type of yawn sound underneath it. That's very much that kind of lowered larynx, classical, operatic approach.
I could see that there was no good for me.
Another note that we can really learn from his approach is as he's singing, he's allowing his jaw to really do a lot of movement. He's allowing it to open on those notes. He's not going, what, Delilah. He's going, why, really opening that jaw. We need to allow our mouth to open to sing. And I think a lot of people keep their jaw really tight as they sing. So watching him, how he's approaching it, can really help you.
I crossed the street to her house. She opened the door.
And I love him as a frontman. He's an incredible frontman. Beautiful theatrics as he's going. Like, it's really getting the audience engaged. You could see they're like hanging on his every movement and like cheering at any time he jumps or does any sort of movement. And also notice how he's singing she. So he doesn't sing, she stood there laughing. He's not smiling. He doesn't widen his mouth as he does it. It's very much she. So the way I describe that is almost like saying E through oo lips. And that can really help you get up into higher notes when a wider vowel could potentially splat and bring up your larynx and cause a whole bunch of issues in your voice. Yeah, you see how wide his mouth open there? Like that is, he's really opening up his mouth. That's how much your mouth has to open when you're singing these types of songs.
I felt the night
He just has incredible technique. His voice just feels like it's not going to tire. It just doesn't feel like it's going to hit a brick wall and then like he's going to lose his voice. His voice just feels like it flows so effortlessly. Now that's not to say, just thinking back to what I said earlier, it's not to say that you can't do it, these notes, with a different approach, meaning more of a neutral larynx approach or like a spoken approach. But this is just very quintessential of his sound. His sound is very much that lowered larynx, really opening of the throat and the mouth as he's singing those higher notes.
I just could not take
So that was totally different than his approach for the why, those parts. It was totally different. There he went for more of a straight tone and less lowered larynx. He did it more of a spoken tone there with a neutral larynx as he approached that. I also really liked how he stopped. He let the audience sing any more, and then he came in with any more right at the end. That was really awesome. I like that. I'm going to back it up so we can hear that full note. Amazing.
I saw the flickering shadows of love on her blind.
All right, so far I really like this kind of stripped down approach to the song. It's taking a very, very like strong instrumental, stripping it way down to basically just vocal coming in and a little bit of guitar here and there, making it more bluesy. I really like this approach. Totally brand new. And that's cool. Like when you've been doing a song for as long as Tom Jones has been doing Delilah, it's awesome to have a new approach to it.
She was my woman.
Awesome clarity on the she. Again, he hasn't lost that technique of making sure that he keeps things more rounded as he's going up through his bridge range so that he modifies his vowel properly and finds the proper amount of head voice so that it's not strained or pulled. I love his facial expressions as he's doing it. It's just like, you know, kind of feeling out the music. And it seems like he's almost surprised by the musical accompaniment that's following behind him.
Drove away, I was waiting.
So this is the sign of a true artist that really knows what he's doing. He's playing into the musical accompaniment with his vocal. So he's not doing the vocal the same way it does it on the original at all. He's making it much more staccato and really feeling out the rhythm of the musical accompaniment and fitting it to that. That is one of the signs of a true artist. Okay, so there he had a little bit of a scoop up to the note, but he landed on the note as he went. By and large, we want to try to avoid those types of scoops up to the note. She, like kind of finding the note as opposed to being right onto the note as you start the note. That's something that can definitely be used stylistically, but there it seemed more like he was making adjustments with his mouth to try to find the sound as opposed to specifically making that a slide up to the note. So it didn't seem like a stylistic point that he was doing there, but it can be used stylistically. Usually not so much, better to be right on the note from the beginning.
Delilah.
Okay, so totally different approach here as well to the chorus. Now, right there, if you notice on that top note, he lost his support that he had going up to it. My, and it kind of fell away right there on that last one. So right there, he was engaging his abs right up until the last moment where he kind of let go of that connection into his body. That's why it kind of fell away, and he kind of dropped the note. Much better to keep that engagement from your abs all the way through. My, Delilah. Right? So you'd want to really go through with it, holding on to that pressure that's built up. And he built up the pressure right, that he was starting with support. He just didn't end with the support.
Why, Delilah?
So there I think he's purposefully slowing down his vibrato a bit, because he's usually has a very, very spinning vibrato, very quick vibrato. Here it's a little bit slower, more of like a wobble. I would recommend on that note to speed it up just a little bit so it doesn't quite wobble as much.
But I was lost like a slave that no man could free.
And I love how he's taking this more conversational approach. Like he's really telling the story. He's not singing it like outright. He's really taking this instrumental and saying, I'm really going to run with it. I'm not going to do it exactly the same way I normally do the song. Not quite sure what happened there. I guess their cameras cut out for a second. I'm surprised they kept that cut out as opposed to filling it with some other footage. You know, just B-roll.
She stood there laughing.
And that time he was right on the note. Really good.
My, Delilah.
Yeah, see how he did that again? He really kind of falls off the note where he should be singing through that with his support that he had at the bottom.
Delilah.
He does it much more on that why as opposed to the my. He could do it on both. I don't know why he drops it on my.
Anymore.
And we lost video again.
Couldn't take anymore.
Wow. What an ending. See, his voice has held up over the years. Still has a lot of strength behind it. Amazing. So if you guys like this video, please check out this one. You're gonna like it too.